Welcome back to another week. This week I'm spending my entire time behind the wheel of this 2024 Mercedes AMG GLA 35. Now at first glance, I don't know, maybe the looks might not be for everybody, but I think with the AMG package, the GLA 35 really does kind of come alive, or you know, it's definitely Mercedes' best foot forward when it comes to this, you know, compact SUV. You know, so I just kind of want to go over everything with you. I want to show you the exterior. So let's actually go into the sun. You can see we've got these nice Mercedes-Benz badges, front-facing camera, parking sensors, really nice looking daytime LEDs. It still looks aggressive despite being something that's like, you know, made to be a little bit smaller, and definitely no shortage of horsepower. I think it's got like 302 horsepower here from that engine, and that's pretty good numbers to me. Side profile, you can kind of get an idea how compact it is, but yet still sporty. I do like kind of like the lower stance. I like the ride height's really good. We've got like a turbo badge right over here. You can see turbo 4MATIC, very nice. Little chrome on the door handles, kind of splits things up. The wheels are cool too. I do like the wheels. It's not the obviously blacked out wheels, not doing it justice on camera with kind of like those the metal looking AMG painted brakes there. It stops pretty well, obviously, for a small package. Come in the back though, this thing has got some little exhaust to it here. Check this out, a little bit of a diffuser, two visible exhausts that sound pretty good as well. I'll show you that a little bit later on. Nice tail lights, the AMG badge, GLA 35 badge. Again, wish this wiper was up under here, it would just save me in the winter. Automatic tailgate, of course, so we like that too. Fits all my stuff. We'll see how it does with the baby stroller and everything in between. That is gonna have to go in here. The seats actually come back and forward. You can see those seats are not all the way back, but it doesn't buy you too much trunk space, so I'm not sure how much of a concern it's gonna be for some of you. But yeah, so let's take a look at everything there is to look at. Let me first hop in, give me my first impressions, and we'll take it from there. Let's do it. All right, so second time driving now the Mercedes AMG GLA 35. Hey, this is pretty nice. Look, it's like compact, right? And like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's a little small, but actually on the inside, there's quite a bit of room and there's quite a bit of noise isolation. I'm actually noticing it's quite echoey in here, which is interesting. It's almost like I'm talking through some type of microphone, but I'm like looking for it in case there is, but no, actually that's not the case. It's just really nice. It's hot out, and I don't have, or at least I don't see any right now. I don't think I have any ventilated seats in my trim, so it's hot. I feel it. These leather seats are just black on black, and that's kind of it. So I'm very hot, but I love this steering wheel. Oh my goodness, Mercedes does one of the best steering wheels in the game. Yeah, you got like these weird kind of touch, kind of weird looking things here, but look, this Alcantara stuff on the side of the steering wheel is fantastic. I really like it. Also, got some noise in here. Look at this. Sport mode plus. And that's ridiculous, right? Like, okay, you understand? Just like, when I first ripped it, I was like, well, I'm not expecting that much. You know, it's going to be what it is. It'll be interesting, but nothing that crazy, I guess. It's kind of a compact SUV, you know, whatever. But AMG takes things to the next level, and it is absolutely a nice sounding exhaust. And I'm gonna try not to go to jail this week with it because I want to hear it the whole time. Yeah, so far though it's pretty comfortable. Actually, it's a little stiff in Sport Plus. Obviously, comfort does help that quite a bit. Visibility is also really good as well. You know, definitely turning heads. I'm like a blue AMG Mercedes that has a pretty nice sounding exhaust, so people do notice me. There's not a lot of these type of cars, or it's either that or I just haven't really noticed them that much. I don't know if this is a Mercedes that turns that many heads unless you're like a Mercedes enthusiast or an enthusiast like I am, or you own one yourself, then you're probably really noticing these ones. And I think this one has like 302 horsepower, which is pretty decent for a subcompact crossover or just a subcompact SUV. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty loaded, and it goes. It's, you know, it's got some nice speed. I think it sounds fantastic. I think that's probably the highlight of the vehicle. You know, like, because right now I'm kind of bouncing around. It is very stiff, but let's see if I put it back into comfort. Oh yeah, it does stiffen up things just a little bit, so that's good. You can turn this off. No, okay. I'm kind of playing with the little knobs, which I'll show you when I take you on the interior. I've also got these metallic paddle shifters that feel really cool. So yeah, my last experience with a Mercedes is the AMG GLB 35. So again, AMG. So I am spoiled with the AMG Mercedes side of things, and I love the GLB 35. It was like one of my fifth press car, something like that. It was very early on in the career, and then I haven't been able to touch Mercedes since, not because, just purely because of scheduling. It was never around when I was ready. So to be back behind the wheel of a Mercedes, and in fact it is an AMG, it is no short of fantastic. I'm so happy to be able to bring you this once again. I'm basically going to keep it in sport mode all week as well. So yeah, because it sounds a little boring when it's not in sport mode. Why would you not put it in Sport Plus? Let's do it. Yeah, so I'm excited to show you this. We're going to show you the exterior, the interior, everything there is, like all the little weird stuff that I find, all the cool stuff that I like, and everything that I don't like as we go through the week here. So stay tuned. Let's get to it. I'll pick it back up later. All right, so let's check out the front seat of the Mercedes GLA 35. You can see already I've kind of got like the package that's going to give you this really nice sporty steering wheel here with the kind of Alcantara kind of wrap around with the leather. This is so cool, and it feels awesome. Like, just to touch this thing in your hands. And we've also got metallic paddle shifters, which of course the manual mode is a true manual mode in this thing. It actually works really well. Massive Mercedes logos. I've got like this, it's kind of like, it's not feedback at all. Kind of, you can see I can control my infotainment with it, and then over here I can control my gauge cluster stuff with it. It's interesting. I don't hate it. I also don't enjoy it, right? Like, it's one of those things. They are physical buttons. Like, I can press OK on stuff, and they're like, I can press like the home button to get to this. So there are some like actual physical buttons, but this is like a slider here. But my favorite part, it makes me feel like I'm in an absolute race car, is this. So I can toggle this. You can see it's changing my drive modes and stuff like that. And I also have, I have the individual, I've got comfort, I've got sport, and I've got this. But I can also just switch that on the fly. Like, say I'm in comfort, right? I can come over here, and I can go, I'm in comfort, but I want sport plus suspension. Don't know why you want that, but you can have it. Then I can also say that I want manual mode. I can do that, and then I can switch this, can turn this on or off. So I basically have like a bunch of different things. I can turn AMG Dynamics on from right here too. Like, it's got a bunch of different stuff that it can do. I can also turn the traction control into race mode, stuff like that. So it's really, really cool. I love that. It makes me feel like I'm absolutely racing, especially when you're on the road and you're just going through. And what's cool is, like, you can also change this, what's displayed up here as well. So you can see, if I click this once, I'll see my front-facing camera, and it'll bring up the whole thing. So, and then click it again, turns it off, and I can do the back if I need to, which is really cool. Left-hand side, I've got some illumination controls, stuff like that. The fog lights, whether they're on or off, you can change that. Then we have this guy here where you can control the seating position. I got 3 levels of memory seating. The heated seat button is right here. Obviously, this little grayed out guy is for the ventilation if you decide to go with that package, which mine did not come with this week. Got nice circular vents kind of all over the place too. Really nice infotainment display here. I really like it. You can see, like, I've got a bunch of different things that I can go through. So let's check this out. Let me put the camera here, and you can see, look, I can do sport mode like that, or I can do this where it's going to really show you like all the setup changes you have. I can have track pack, stuff like that. So like, there's even like an off-road one. Look at this, which I don't know if you're going to get away with taking this thing off-road, but okay, it's there if you want it. It's cool. But I like the classic where you can just kind of see your fuel economy, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And you also have like this little game thing here that I haven't really played with too much. It's like, there it is. The attention assist, never mind. And then, there you go, the eco display. You can see I'm on 1 star because I'm ripping around. So I think that gets up to 5 stars depending on how you drive. That's pretty cool. Then move on to our digital infotainment. Very nice, very snappy as well. I've got like different screens here. I've got like the AMG track package where, I'm not allowed to do this on, public roads, stuff like that. Drag race, stuff like this. You can kind of launch it and get like your telemetry from that. Really cool. You also have the performance screens where it's going to show you engine, vehicles, stuff like that. Consumption, power, horsepower, IWC, which is cool. This is a cool little animation. Check this out. Pretty interesting. I've also got built-in navigation, wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Here's where you're going to control all of the vehicle settings, different stuff like that, cameras and parking stuff. It all works very well. I understand it all. It's obviously a lot. Like, I have comfort stuff that like I haven't really got into, seat kinetics. Like, it's just all this, stuff to go through. But yeah, seat kinetics is something that I haven't really touched too much. There's different apps as well. Media, which I don't really use because I use Apple CarPlay. But yeah, really cool. Then you have the start-stop button. You can check this out. It's got the automatic shut-off button right below it. So you can kind of go 1, 2, and turn off that annoying feature. So that's good. Then we have all of our HVAC controls. It is, of course, dual zone automatic climate control. All the vents, all the air comes out of these vents. Very nice. It's all easily to use, laid out. I have no problem. I can bring up like a climate menu should I need it. That's also where I'm going to activate my heated steering from, so that's pretty decent. It's also there. Little storage compartment down here. Looks like a good place for a wireless charger, but we don't have one. Then I've got like these cup holders, very nice. Dynamics, where I can just kind of bring up my drive mode selector. This button here is going to bring up like the automatic parking thing, which I haven't used, which I'll try to use this week and show you if I haven't already. And this is where you can kind of, you know, camera activation. Okay, so for some reason it can tell me where I activated the camera. That's pretty interesting. And then you can see I've got a bunch of different camera angles, so that's cool. I've also got volume knob here, a little bit of a storage space there, tons of storage in here. It's pretty deep with USB-Cs, USB-C right here to connect, little 12 volt right there. I love like these little, you can see it better over here, these little Mercedes logos at nighttime. This side looks really cool. I haven't filmed at nighttime, so I actually haven't sat in the car at nighttime yet, so I don't know how the ambient lighting looks. The seats, they can be upgraded. I have like the very basic ones. There's no ventilation, there's only heating in these ones. So, I mean, they're comfortable, but I think like, you know, the red interior maybe looks a little bit nicer. This one's more on the just normal side, but also it's an AMG, so it's still pretty loud. Then we have this very big sunroof, and it also opens in the back, but I have it closed because the old baby's coming in here sometimes. So, but yeah, overall, I really do like the interior. I mean, there is some cracking to it around the area. So for the price, it's a bit like, you kind of hear it sometimes when you press a little bit, but it's not as horrible as I've seen on some builds. Like this, the build I seem to have seems to be very solid. I don't have that much creaking, but it is kind of there, but nowhere near as bad as I've seen it. But overall, I really like this interior. I'm just obsessed with this steering wheel. Every time I sit in here, and obviously I'm in sport mode plus all the time, right? And I'm just ripping around like a nuisance. I love to have this steering wheel. Oh, I wish this was on every vehicle. This is so good. All right, welcome back outside with the Mercedes AMG GLA 35. Look at this. At nighttime, I kind of want to highlight, you know, kind of the headlights that look really nice. The paint color that almost kind of looks black at night, which is really cool. This is like matches the rims very nice. I actually like those little white walls kind of around the rims. Kind of shows them off a little bit more than just your standard black here. Let me try to step in the grass a bit here to get you the back. See, like I said, license plate is nice and lit up there so that the police can see me being a nuisance if I do that, which don't worry, Mercedes, I'm not doing that. But I want to show you the inside, because the inside is where this thing is really highlighted. Let me switch to a wide here. Okay, so check this out. We're gonna open the door here. Look at this. Ambient lighting is really good. So I'm gonna hop in and just let the dome light go off. It's actually quite cold in here tonight. The temperature is dropping quite a bit here. You can see, look at this too. When I put the temperature up, it goes red. When I put it down, it goes back to blue. Really cool, and you can see what side it's happening on when you do that. That's really cool. So look at this, ambient lighting. It's in the vents. It's on the side here. You can change the color. You can have one color, or you can have like two different shades of colors. This is really cool. I am such a fan of this. This is so cool. And I mean, look, all the little Mercedes kind of stars light up on the passenger dashboard. Oh man, just doesn't get any better. There's light in the footwell. You can't really see it too well. I can't really see it. The camera really doesn't do this thing justice, but it is nice and lit up in here. Nice and bright in here. All my controls are lit up. These screens look really good. Mercedes know how to do some pretty nice looking interiors, and the GLA is no exception. So I'm really happy with this. So yeah, there's a quick little look. Look at these. Even these screens are nice and lit up on my steering wheel. I've got screens on my steering wheel. What a life. So yeah, I'll pick it back up later. I just want to show you quickly what this thing looked at nighttime. All right, so let's try this. I'm in like an empty parking lot, right? Empty. Because I don't know if I trust this system by itself. So it has like an auto park system. So let's see what it does, right? So I'm gonna get out of my parking spot here. I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna press the parking button. It's gonna do that. It's gonna say searching for a parking space. So I've got to drive right here. We'll see which one it finds. So it's found that one. I can select it by pressing the button down here again. So we'll do that. And then we just let go of the brake. And it's gonna do the rest. We're close to a pole. Maybe I should have went further, but it's okay. You can see it's kind of finding its way. Be ready to brake. And I also have to check the surroundings. I don't know which parking spot it's actually going for, because if that's the spot, which one do you want to do, buddy? Okay. Yep, you stop. Alrighty, that's a hard break. And this is why you do this in a, not so crowded parking lot, because the system has room. This thing brakes hard. The system has room to play with itself, right? Especially first use, I'd say. Do this in a... Hey, but it's pretty straight. Look at this. Look at this. It's adjusting me. I can see everything. My foot's always over the brake. Look at this. And let's let it finish. Man, I just wish it wouldn't brake so aggressively. It scares you a little bit. But since there's nobody, I'm not terrified. But if there was another car, I'd be like, oh my God, how close are you? But yeah, hey, if you can't park properly, then the system could probably help you, or at least get you at the right angle. That's pretty decent. The AI stuff and the autopilot stuff is getting better in vehicles, and Mercedes is obviously probably one at the top of the game. So of course it works well. All right, so sitting back inside the Mercedes AMG GLA 35, let's take it for another drive. It's almost the end of the week now, so I feel like I've got such a good feel of this compact SUV that's sort of more like a hatchback or hot hatch that's kind of quite fast actually. And I also noticed that there is a mild hybrid system on board as well, so it actually gives us about a 13 horsepower boost. It's more of an assist more than I think of an efficiency thing. It's more just to kind of push me through and kind of get me off the line really quick. So I think that's pretty cool, and that's why in my gauge cluster I have this little charge meter every time I'm braking. So I guess it's just putting power in the battery, deploying, because there's no eco mode or anything like that, so it doesn't tell me that I have anything crazy. Right now I'm in my individual mode, but I have comfort mode as well. And the only thing is this is a really, really well handled SUV, easy to handle, really, really fun to drive, really, really quick, right? But I feel like because of that, it's kind of compromised ride quality a little bit. It's stiff in almost every single mode, which personally I don't mind. I'm not somebody, I'm not of the older crowd. I think my back can take it, and it's the seats are pretty comfortable as well, so it's I'm not super uncomfortable spending long periods of time in the car. Even when I go I like to drive in individual mode because I like to hear the exhaust, but also I keep myself in comfort mode. But still, Sport Plus, comfort mode, it's really not that much of a difference. Obviously comfort mode helps, but it isn't the end-all solution. Let's actually put it in Sport Plus mode, because that is the crazy mode, and let's give it some beams here off the line. Oh, lots of wheel spin. This thing has so much wheel spin and so much power. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Yeah. So 300 horsepower, right? You'd think that is not very much, right? Or some people are like, oh, it's not very much. The frame and everything, this thing rips, and that noise is not fake. That noise is not pumped in. That's the exhaust making all that sound. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of something going on here, but oh man, that is so good. The brakes are really, really good and responsive. The handling is really good. Like I said, ride quality, I'm getting bounced around. You can probably hear, my car seat in the back kind of rattling and stuff like that, but still, oh wow, this thing is just so impressive. And I had traction control on there. There's a partial traction control off that you can do. I think I would have did more of a burnout there. It really, really was trying to send power to all four wheels there. That was really cool. Oh man, that's fun to do. And also, I have quick access buttons, right? So right now, I can just go right into manual mode, and I can control the gears myself. Oh my God, what a rush over the hill you get from these things. And it's well, I'm done with manual mode, let me go back into auto mode, boom. And it's a dual clutch transmission, so the shifts are smooth, they're lightning fast, and the transmission is literally no problem to use. It's just nice. So yeah, it's a 10-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, and it's one of the best in the game. Obviously everything in here, from the engine to the transmission, is AMG tune, and you can tell. I mean, there's no hiding it. This thing is just a lightning bolt. It's like lightning in a bottle, and it's such a small package. You can go so fast, and the sense of speed that I get from this thing is unlike anything, that you almost don't care about the bad ride quality. Oh my God. It just sounds so phenomenal. It's just so much fun. The challenge this week is actually not going to be going to jail, because I can't stop. The noise is so clean, so refined. The handling is so much fun. and just to be able to like switch between automatic and stuff like that. And like now I'm in Sport Plus, but I can engage my comfort suspension no problem. Still got the crazy engine mode, still got full power, but the suspension is a little bit nicer on my back. All right, so I want to show you the startup process for this Mercedes GLA. What we can do is something that's called an emotion start or emotional start, one of the two. I can't remember which is the proper name, but anyways, it's basically it revs the exhaust a little bit higher upon the start, and this is how you do it. So I'm going to try my best to do this with one hand here, but ideally, I'll show you. Ideally, you want to hold the paddle shifter down and press the start button. So I'm going to hold it down with this, and then I'm going to try to like reach over here like this. Oh yeah, okay. So it did rev just slightly higher. It almost like kicked the gas when it started up. But yeah, everything's normal there. It's a quite a nice little noise. I don't mind it. Probably one of the better sounding SUVs in the market. I think it's cool. I like that you can even do that in the first place. If the exhaust was tuned or something, you'd really hear it, so that's awesome. Okay, so back outside one final time with the Mercedes AMG GLA 35 with this really, really cool looking Mercedes. Look, it's expensive, there's no doubt about it, right? I mean, but it just looks so cool. I just wish that, you know, for the price, we got everything. You know, we got the racing seats, and we got the crazy rear wing that looks really cool. I think that's the only thing that's missing that, like, you know, maybe if you don't think this is worth it, you have a leg to stand on, I guess. But for me, I think it's cool. I don't know. I expect to be paying a lot of money whenever I look at any kind of Mercedes, especially when you're going AMG. It really is going to raise the price. I don't know. I'll leave that to you guys. You guys can argue in the comments which one you think is cooler, but I really have enjoyed my time. Only my second ever really Mercedes, the first one being the GLB, also an AMG. So really, I've been spoiled both times just getting AMGs. It's just kind of how the scheduling's worked out. And it's crazy to me how small this thing looks from the inside. And then you hop on the inside and it's actually got surprisingly a good amount of room for, you know, the size that it looks. I think that's really cool. So with that being said, let's hop in one final time and I'll give you my final impressions for this Mercedes AMG GLA 35. Let's go. All right, so unfortunately, the final time inside the Mercedes AMG GLA 35. What a great week that it's been. I've really enjoyed living with this thing. It is definitely like one of the rougher, more stiff suspension vehicles that I've driven with over the past year here, but still, I honestly, the way that it performs and like the handling and the speed and stuff is honestly made up for all of that, in my opinion. I think, you know, maybe if I was a bit older, it would bother me, but, you know, still being, you know, relatively young at 28 years old, stiff suspension still isn't a deal breaker for me. It's obviously something that, you know, you consider looking at when you're, you know, doing long road trips and stuff like that. But even then, I think I would still be okay because the comfort mode does kind of dial it back a little bit. It does the most it obviously possibly can do. And yeah, I just love putting it into individual mode and just, you know, whenever I want, playing with the manual mode. This dual clutch automatic transmission is so lightning quick, so responsive. I've got a lot of features. I've got a lot of tech in here, which I do quite enjoy. I've got like track stuff, which, you know, if I were to own this and I ever decided to do that, well, I'm prepared. I've got drag strip stuff, so the same thing there as well. So this is kind of like, you know, you got to do everything you want with it. Apparently you can even off-road it because there's a bunch of like off-road screens in here. Don't know if I'd do that, but you could, I guess. That's the way Mercedes, I guess, are going with it. So that's cool as well. And yeah, I just think that it's a compact SUV with hot hatch tendencies, hot hatch energy, which I think is cool. And looking by the outside, it's hard to tell how much space there is in here. And, you know, for me and my one family setup, no problem. Like my one kid setup, I can pretty much fit everything I need. I can't obviously, you know, just throw everything in the car because not everything is going to fit, but the basics, the stuff that I need the most, still fits in here quite well. The back seat's got plenty of room, even though this from the outside looks really small. It actually on the inside is quite big, so I like that as well. That's been really good news, really good to see and have fun with here. The only thing that I found that I was missing was those AMG kind of racing seats. Would have been nice to see that. And then obviously like the ridiculous looking rear wing would have been really cool to experience that. But other than that, like I feel like I've gotten the full experience of like the best GLA 35 that money could buy, basically. Although it is expensive, I know, like just around the $77,000 Canadian here. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. Even for me, that's a crazy amount of money. Will people pay it? I don't know. Probably, honestly. I mean, I don't see too many AMG GLA 35s, but I do see a couple of the normal ones kind of kicking around here in Quebec. So it's definitely a market for it. I just, you know, I don't know that at $77,000 a lot of people are even in the market for it, but still, people will still buy this. And if they do buy it, it's a fun car. I mean, it's just so much fun to rip around town and be a little nuisance. With only 302 horsepower, with like the 14, 13 horsepower boost that the hybrid system gives you, I mean, you don't need much more than that. And it's enough to get you in trouble, but also let you have fun without getting in trouble, right? Like you kind of have to make the choice there, which is really cool. And if you do want to get into some trouble, it's a nice exhaust note while you do it. So yeah, I think I'll go ahead and leave it there for the GLA 35 for this year. Can't wait to check out more Mercedes. Hopefully that becomes more of a mainstay, stuff like that, Mercedes, Audi, stuff like that. I'm always trying to get my hands on the high-end stuff because as fun as it is to show you the low end, I'm sure there is some people that are watching me for the high-end stuff too. So I'm trying to cover everybody here. But if you found this video helpful at all, make sure you subscribe, turn the bell notification on, because I've got a stacked August. The next like 4 to 5 weeks, if everything pans out scheduling-wise, is going to be some of my most favorite cars that I'll probably ever drive. So you're really going to want to stay tuned. You're going to get enthusiastic reviews out of me for this pretty much this whole month of August coming. So that being said, I'll see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.